Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy Flash and I'm back again with another video. If you guys have been following my channel for any amount of time, you guys know that I buy the latest and greatest iPhone every time it drops. But I don't know, this time I was just like, nah, I think I'm okay. I just didn't feel like there was enough features in the 15 compared to the 14 that would justify me making this upgrade. And if I'm being quite honest, I was absolutely satisfied with my iPhone 14. But then I started listening to some creators like Brandon Washington and Your Average Consumer, and they brought up some features that kind of skipped over my head in the original keynote that I was like, wait, maybe I should pay a little bit more attention to what's going on here. And one of those features that they started talking about was the Apple Log ProRes option. This basically means that your iPhone, yes, your iPhone, the one that you have in your pocket every day, can shoot in a log profile. Now for the average user, that means absolutely nothing. But for the professional user, that is a big, big, big deal. Essentially, shooting in log gives you the ability to capture more details in the highlights and in the shadows. It does this by recording everything in a very flat profile where everything almost looks like it's black and white. But the benefit of that is that when you now take this footage into your editing program like DaVinci Resolve, you have much more latitude when you want to color grade that footage. It also gives you the ability to shoot a profile that's a lot less sharp and detailed like what you would originally get out of your iPhone. And gives you something that looks a lot more professional. I looked at that option and I said to myself, okay, you know what? This might actually be really good, especially if I need another angle that's quick and dirty for my YouTube videos, or if I'm on site and I'm doing anything for a client that's some paid work or anything like that, and I just want to grab some BTS, I can just put my phone on a little tripod or one of those gimbals or whatever, shoot it in log and get some absolutely amazing footage out of my phone. What really blew my mind was the most recent Apple event that happened a few days ago. They basically shot everything like they are known to do on an Apple event. It looked really high quality, beautiful camera movement, beautiful lighting, everything just looked, as normal. And then right at the very end of that video, on a little text they said, shot on the iPhone 15. And I was like, excuse me? This was amazing because, I use pretty good cameras every single day, anytime I film, and I feel like I know a good camera versus an iPhone any day of the week. But I watched that entire keynote and had no idea that it was shot on an iPhone, which was just incredible to me. And that right there pretty much solidified the entire decision for me. So I decided to go with this Titan blue colorway because I just felt like out of all the colors this year, this was by far the most attractive one. And I usually just go with the black one every year, so it's something nice to switch it up and get something different. I also got it in 512 gigabytes because that's what I usually get every year. One of their biggest things was this titanium finish with the rounder edges and it being a bit lighter, which I can admit the phone is definitely a bit lighter than the previous model, but nothing to really go crazy over. And if I'm being totally honest, I think I actually liked the previous model's design a little bit more with those more squared edges. These rounder edges, yeah, they do feel a little bit nicer in the hand, but if we're being honest, it doesn't look as professional as the one before. Another feature that kind of went right over my head was the USB-C. Now, when you think of USB-C, you're like, oh, great. They're finally adding USB-C that Android and BlackBerry even had for how many years now. And it's like, big whoop, right? Then they mentioned that you can actually connect an SSD drive directly into the iPhone. And when you record in those log profiles, you can record immediately onto the SSD drive. That is amazing. And the reason why is that log profile that's in ProRes is going to create huge files on your phone. And I know pretty much every iPhone user at some point has seen that their memory is completely full. So this is just a great way to avoid that altogether. And it gives you more freedom in terms of how much time and how long you can actually use the phone as well. Honestly, recording directly onto your phone sounds like a recipe for disaster. So I would recommend recording into an SSD drive. One last thing that I'll mention about this phone and its camera is the Blackmagic camera app, which basically allows you to turn your iPhone into a professional manual camera. The iPhone usually has a really good camera, but one of its downfalls is that it's pretty much all automatic. So Blackmagic introducing this new app, giving you full control, is an absolute game changer. The app gives you full manual control over the camera in exception to the aperture. So that means the ISO, shutter speed, white balance, and even focus is at your command. I'm not going to get too much into that app in this video because, I mean, that's not what it's all about. But if you are looking for the best camera app available on iPhone right now for free, that's the one you want to go with. If you would like to hear my take on the Blackmagic app, go ahead and leave something in the comments below and I'll put together a video for you guys. The other major feature that caught my attention was the action button. Hold on. Before you guys click off the video, let me explain. We all know the basic options like turning on the flashlight or launching the camera or even like toggling silent mode or whatever, which are all pretty simple and gimmicky if you ask me. Where you really start seeing the true power of the action button is when you combine it with shortcuts. Now, if we're being completely honest, shortcuts is something that I never really opened on my iPhone before. Shortcuts essentially allows you to perform certain functions by either touching a button or giving it a voice command. So for example, you could say the command like, "Hey Siri, tell it to turn on the lights," or something like that. And with shortcuts, it would automatically go ahead and turn on any of your smart lights in, let's say, your studio or your kitchen or wherever they might be. But it's not just those simple commands that make this amazing. It's the ability to customize and link those commands together to make it happen automatically. So for example, let's say that you have smart lights at your home. And you're the type of person that always forgets to turn off the lights in your bedroom or kitchen or whatever whenever you leave the house. You can set your shortcuts up in a way that anytime you leave your house using the GPS on your phone, so the phone will recognize that, it'll automatically turn off the lights in your home. Or the reverse of that. Anytime you're not home and you come back, it'll automatically turn on the porch lights or let's say the lights in the kitchen or something like that. And that's where you start really seeing the true power of the action button and shortcuts. I'm personally still learning how to do it, but I can tell you guys right now that the bag is deep. There are so many options, commands, and automations that you can do with shortcuts. It's insane. But one of the areas where I said I can make an immediate impact is with my car. So I drive the Tesla Model Y, and I've been driving this car now for the past 3 years. And the reason why I chose that car is because it's pretty much what I would call a smart car. It has an amazing app that was built by Tesla that pretty much gives you all the functionality of the car through your phone. The problem is that all those functions are buried into the app. And in order for me to access them, I have to unlock the phone, launch the app, then click on the command that I want the car to do. With the shortcuts, I was able to create a folder of all the different commands that I can do with the car, and then attach those shortcuts to the action button on my phone and get quick access to anything I wanted with my car. So for example, let's say I want to open the trunk of my car. I can hold the action button, click on the open trunk option, and it'll open the trunk for me. And from my personal experience of using both the Tesla app and the shortcut option with the action button, I feel that the functions through the action button happen a little bit more often than if I were to do it with the app itself. It's a little bit more functional. Other than that, I feel like the phone is pretty much the same as the 14 Pro Max. It's small little key features for myself as a cinematographer and somebody that drives a smart car. It just makes it a little bit easier for me for my day-to-day functions. If I were to honestly say if you should upgrade to this phone or not, it would probably be a no. It really comes down to if you're actually going to be using those pro features for the camera or if you have any automations that you can set up using the action button. But if you're like me and you like the latest and greatest and you like the convenience of having the ability to do certain things that you couldn't do before through your phone, then yes, this is something that I would say, yeah, upgrade and enjoy. But that's pretty much going to be it. I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys do have any other questions about the Apple ProRes log option or the action button or anything else with this phone, make sure you leave them in the comments below for me. But other than that, guys, I want to just say thank you for watching this video and remember to look, learn, and share. Take it easy, guys. Peace.